It's time for another edition of Mets Musings.
Hi, this is Ron Darling. This is Skip Lockwood.
Hi, I'm Ron Swoboda of the 69 New York Mets, and you're listening to Mets Musings with Gary Mack.
Now it's time for some New York Mets baseball talk. Here's Gary Mack bringing you the latest news and analysis from Mets Nation and the world of baseball on another edition of Mets Musings.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Mets Musings. I'm Gary Mack. Hope everybody had a great week out there. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if you've heard that Jacob deGrom was evaluated today, he had an MRI taking. He had right shoulder tightness after long tossing yesterday, and the news is not great. He will be shut down for 4 weeks. 4 weeks. This is the reports coming out from sources that he'll be shut down for 4 weeks and then be reevaluated. So, not good news on Jacob deGrom. Can't get a break here and start the season completely healthy, but it's a long season, so we'd rather have him at the end and not the beginning and nip this thing, whatever it may be, in the bud. So Jacob deGrom, according to sources, will miss the first 4 weeks of the baseball season and then be reevaluated. It's not good news for the Mets. Luckily, they've got some depth. This means that we'll probably see a Tyler McGill or a David Peterson in there, one or two of the others. But it's not. You're still missing, Jacob deGrom. And as far as opening day, I guess that leaves it to Max Scherzer now. He'll be the opening day pitcher, though nothing has come down officially as of yet. But Jake to miss the next 4 weeks and then to be reevaluated. But let's move on. The Mets got rid of 10 players, reassigned them. They didn't get rid of them. Brett Beatty and Matt Reynolds, catchers Francisco Alvarez and Nick Meyer, outfielders Carlos Cortez, Jake Mangum, and pitchers Jose Rodriguez, Antonio Santos, Josh Walker, and Rob Zastrini. All were sent down at the beginning of the week. There'll be more going down. There'll be guys going up and down. You'll see guys in games that, you'll say, oh, I thought they were in a minor league camp. But they'll bring guys up from the minor league camp as they, as they need them. To fulfill some slots just for the exhibition games. But we're getting down to the nitty-gritty now. We're only a few days away from opening day, so decisions are going to have to be made. And, the starting opening day pitcher now, in a way, is kind of up in the air until we find out about deGrom. And, it could be, could end up being Scherzer starting it all, which would shake things up, but, that's okay. It's all right. Maybe they should work, if they could work it out, maybe they could figure it out so that, that deGrom is pitching opening day at home instead of opening day on the road. So, but we'll see how that all works out. But, in good news, before the news about deGrom came down, the MLB.com rated the Mets as having the best rotation in baseball. And Again, we've always said that it's a good, real good pitching staff, but they got to stay healthy, and health is the whole thing. Uh, you know, with any team, that's how you win. The team that stays the healthiest and plays the best is the ones that win. So, Mets got their fingers crossed. They're considered to have the best rotation in baseball, but again, they got to be healthy. Chris Bassett made his first spring appearance against another team on Tuesday. The Mets' number 3 starter faced off against the Marlins, going nearly 5 scoreless innings, 4 2/3. I think he went. He looked terrific, and everybody's saying this guy is a steal of the century. It was a great deal getting him from the Oakland A's. And look, if DeGrom does go down, having a guy like Bassett there, really helps. He'll move up to the number 2 starter. Scherzer will be number 1. And then they have proven guy. They have a Tyler McGill or David Peterson could come in, or you could use both of them. That's still pretty formidable. Walker's look pretty good. Carrasco, we're going to get to him in a second. But it's still pretty good rotation. So there's some depth there. You don't want to get 2 or 3 starters hurt and go that deep in. But as it stands now, just keep your fingers crossed about DeGrom. I'm sure we'll learn more by tonight. Pete Alonso hit his first home run in the spring the other day against the Astros. It was blast, but it was good to see Pete get off the schneid. He hasn't been hitting for distance much, but I'm sure he'll come around once the bell rings for the regular season. And Carlos Carrasco appeared in his second game of the spring this week. He had a shaky outing, but he said his arm feels good and he is ready to start the season. And if I may say this, I hate to keep dwelling on it, but free agent Michael Conforto still out there. Now, one of the reasons he's still out there, this came out this week, is that he suffered a shoulder injury in January diving for a ball, and that slowed down his market. He wasn't pursuing teams, or Boris wasn't pursuing teams until Conforto was healthy. I don't know. You can believe it if you want. We'll see. There's still no offers that we know of, and I keep telling you, I think if I'm the Mets, I would get in on that deal and bring him back home, because the outfield scares me a little bit. I got to be honest. I don't think Canha is an everyday player. Marte's a terrific player, but he's 33. You worry about injuries. Now he's going to be moving to right field, it looks like. They're playing in a new position. I don't see much depth in the outfield. I mean, after those, Nimmo, Canha, and Marte, you've got Jankowski if he makes the team, or even if he gets to the minors, he'll still be there. And then you got Dom Smith or J.D. Davis or Jeff McNeil, and none of them really excite me. I guess McNeil would be the better of the 3 defensively, but I really think the outfield defense is a little bit shaky even now. That's why I think Conforto would slot in nice. He'd move Canha to the bench, strengthen your bench, make that deeper, rotate around. So Marte gets more rest. And, there are ways to do it. And I think that should be a move. I would sign Conforto, but it's not my money, so it's not up to me. All right, let's take a quick break and then come back with more Mets news. news right after this.
Baseball and BBQ, your place for interesting baseball talk, opinions, and history.
Baseball and BBQ, your place for barbecue recipes, tips, and interviews from the world of barbecue. If you like baseball and if you like barbecue, then tune in to Baseball and BBQ. Find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and BaseballTalkRadio.com.
Wouldn't it be great if you could get a PhD in life through baseball? Welcome to Baseball PhD, a tour company for your brain. 30 major league teams, 100 places to see. Let's touch them all as we make the road trip of a lifetime.
Follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/MetsMusings, on Twitter at MetsMusingsGM, the Instagram is MetsMusings, and on YouTube at MetsMusings Mack. Wish to be a part of the show? Give us a call at 516-619-6341. And we're back. And as I was saying before, you know, a lot of these things we have to wait and see. Health is the main thing for any team, but still no word on DeGrom. And yet, you know, they have to get all the things read and everybody gets informed. So we'll find out sometime tonight. The Mets will be honoring the 10th anniversary of the first and still only no-hitter in team history. Before the Mets game on Tuesday, May 31st at Citi Field against the Washington Nationals, there will be a pregame ceremony that commemorates the 10th anniversary of Santana's no-hitter, when Santana and catcher Josh Thole will both be honored. 10 years already. Where did the time go? It can't possibly be true. It's 10 years? Wow, I can't believe that. It really is gone by so quickly, and still not another no-hitter. And Shea Stadium only had never had a Mets no-hitter there. They were no-hit there, but never had a no-hitter thrown by a Mets pitcher. Shea, of course, Citi Field, the Johan Santana did it, and that remains to this day as the only no-hitter in Mets history. So this is nice. This is getting in touch with your history, getting in touch with your past, and doing something nice. So, you know, good on the Mets for remembering this special occasion and doing something about it. And 2 more Mets are expected to be in attendance for the team's Old Timers Day. Yes, the Mets are bringing back Old Timers Day, and both are fan favorites. Yoenis Cespedes and Bartolo Colon are set to appear for the August 27 festivities at Citi Field. Both players are among a handful of former players who have already committed to the event. Daniel Murphy, Robin Ventura, Cliff Lloyd, Keith Hernandez, Johan Santana, Andy Chavez, and Mookie Wilson are confirmed to attend this summer. So Mets are going with an Old Timers Day game. For you young guys that don't remember what an Old Timers Day game was, it is just what it says. They bring back former players, and look, I can remember going to them in Shea Stadium, and you know, they had some guys 70, 80 years old there, and it was quite a thrill. The Yankees still continue to do it with their long tradition, and hopefully the Mets will start to build on their tradition, on their history, on their former players. I'd like to see guys like George Theodore and John Matlack. I think he was invited. I think he is coming, Matlack. But I'd like to see those guys back and Benny Agbayani, and and sometimes they have themes. Sometimes they'll have the Mets against the National League, and have some of the old timers from the National League come. Or the American leagues, like a Ken Griffey Jr. or, Cal Ripken. Those sort of guys would be invited to come, and they'd be in uniform and they'd play a little. It's like a little 2-inning game, 3-inning game that they play. I think it used to be 3. Then I think they cut it to 2. We'll see what they got planned for this year. I don't know, but it's a look. If you like the history of baseball, it's very nostalgic, and for me, I like to see the older guys there, but I understand the kids don't want to always see that. But get your tickets early, because it's a great day. It's a great ceremony, and it's just a terrific thing, and I'm sure that with Steve Cohen and the crew that they got, they will make it very special and very nice. So August 27th, circle that on your calendar for Old Timers Day. That's going to be great. All right. Actually, I think that's going to wrap it up for this week's show. Quick show. We're going to start trying to line up some guests and bring in guys from out of town, and local writers, hopefully. Other podcasters for the opponents of the Mets to give us a little breakdown. And so we'll get on that. And as I said, that's going to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this week's show, and I want to thank you all for listening and watching if you're on YouTube. And don't forget, if you are on YouTube, hit that subscribe button as well as that like button. People at YouTube, the analytic people, love when you hit that, as do I. So please hit that today. Same thing on Apple Podcasts. If you're listening to the audio version, Google Play, wherever you get your podcasts from, hit the subscribe button so you never miss an edition of Mets Musings. They'll always tell you it's on there, so check it out and hit that. And like I said, season's coming fast. Opening day is just a few days away. And we'll have all the news and action here on Mets Musings as soon as it happens. But until then, remember to keep the faith and stay optimistic. And let's go Mets. And I'll see you next time on another edition of Mets Musings.